So yeah, hi guys, this is the Devops mock interview day 87. We already completed 86 mock interviews. If you are watching this video for the first time in the YouTube, you can check out all mock interviews. So how can you can able to check? Just go to the youtube.com or in your mobile, just open the YouTube application. Okay, once you open your YouTube, go to search section and search for Devops space easy. Okay, just enter. You can see the first YouTube channel. You can able to see. This is my YouTube channel. Go here. Okay, if you are looking for real-time training, you can ping me on WhatsApp and you can join the live classes. Okay, and if you go to the video section, right, you can find the latest videos of every related to DevOps. Okay, you can check the mock interviews. If you go to playlist section, okay, if you want to check how like I will teach in DevOps and all, you can check the demo. Okay, for the DevOps batch 1 demo. And one more thing I forget, DevOps batch 2 going to start from next month, that is from March. Okay, I will show you that. Let me open it. Okay, March 10th March. From 10th March, class 1 will going to start. Okay, then by 10th May it will complete, nothing but in 2 months. And what are the tool cycle? I will start from Git. Once it is Git completed, I will go to Jenkins. Once Jenkins is completed, okay, I will go to Terraform. Once Terraform is completed, I will go to Ansible. Everything will be implemented and done via cloud, which is a AWS. Okay, AWS services will be also covered. VPC, EC2, S3. Okay, these are the three service measure we are going to use. Okay, then after once Ansible is completed, Docker, Kubernetes project, and discount is going on. Okay, if you want to enroll right away, just ping me in WhatsApp. Okay, this is my number. I will zoom it if it is not able to. Okay, yes, see. Okay, I will close it. Yeah, let's come back. If you want to see all mock interviews at a time, right? If you see view DevOps integration analysis, okay, AWS integration analysis, okay, you can check out the demo project as well, how I teach. Then after you can enroll for real-time training. First, you need to check right how I'm teaching, right? Check it out. If you can able to understand my teaching skills, definitely then enroll. Okay. Yeah, if I go to full playlist, yeah, from first to all videos you can able to check. Okay, okay, and mock interview will going to start in few minutes. People will join. Let's wait. Okay. Yeah, hi Raghav, thank you for joining. If you want to introduce yourself, definitely go ahead and don't reveal your genuine information.
Sure. Hi, this is Raghav. I've good experience in DevOps, cloud engineering, and an SRE. Throughout my career, I have worked across multiple cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and GCP. I've good experience on hands expertise on DevOps tools and practices. Um, which is the best part I love about this job is making things easy and efficient. um, by bringing expertise in automating infrastructure and application deployments using tools like Terraform and Ansible and cloud native services like ECS, Fargate, EKS, and AKS. I specialize in automating the infrastructure and deployments by taking leverage of CI/CD pipelines by using tools like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, and other automatic frameworks to streamline the both build and release process. Along with that, security is a top priority where I use SaaS tools like SonarCube and Chekovi to enforce security while development, and DAST by addressing OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities through regular assessments and implementing security measures through the pipelines. To streamline this, I create automation scripts through Shell, PowerShell, and Python to support daily operations and infrastructure management. I am passionate about building scalable, reliable, and secure system. I'm excited to contribute my expertise to the dynamic team.
Yeah, Raghav, super. Everything is perfect. You can make it short, like the introduction which you are delivered. It was perfect, but whatever you have delivered, I think it was up to the mark. But still, you can change something, not total. Yeah, at least a little bit.
I
That's it.
counted it. It's correctly 1.5 minutes. So yeah, I just wanted to.
Oh, then no issues. Okay, let's wait for a few minutes. Let someone join. Okay, until then, I will try to introduce myself. Hello, and thank you for having me today. I have over 6 years of experience in the IT industry with a strong foundation in Linux administration, cloud engineering, and DevOps practices. I began my career as a Linux administrator, where I developed a solid understanding of system management and automation. About a year into my career, I transitioned into a cloud engineering, gained hands-on experience with various cloud platforms and services like EC2, S3, and so many services in AWS. From the past 4 years, right, I have specialized in DevOps, focusing on tools and practices that enhance the development and operations efficiency. My expertise includes version control with Git, continuous integration and delivery with Jenkins, containerization with Docker, and orchestration with Kubernetes. Additionally, I have extensively experience with infrastructure as a code with using Terraform and configuration management using Ansible. On the cloud, I'm proficient in AWS services including EC2, S3, VPC, and IAM. So, which has allowed me to design and manage scalable, secure cloud architectures effectively. So, using IAM, right, I used to create users, I used to manage users for the development teams. So, my background equips me with a well-rounded skill set in both development and operations. I'm excited to bring this experience to your team and contribute to success of your projects. Thank you for having me today. I'm done. Thank you so much. If you have feedback, please give it.
Do you wanted to like just say that IAM are used for user creation, or you can just say that roles and groups creation or IAM administration? Do you wanted to put like that, or how is it gonna be?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Whatever you have mentioned, it was right. We can elaborate more. You are right. But when they
Yeah,
ask, right, we can able to elaborate more on that. If not,
but
we
user creation, I felt like user creation won't be like IAM administration. It would be a, like a kind of IAM, just kind of a basic thing, or giving like creating some roles, assume roles or cross accounts. Those would be kind of like a kind of a senior best practices, or instead of creating a simple user, I felt like that.
yes, 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 you are right. Okay, I think it was almost time was spent. Shall we start the mock interview? Let people will join. Until then, we just need let's. I will remind the group as well.
Let's wait for 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, hi Jay. Thank you for joining. If you want to introduce yourself, please go ahead. Then I will start the mock interview.
Pawan, I am facing a
No
little
issues.
cough.
No issues.
Uh,
I will share my
Chalo,
screen.
start. Okay.
Okay. Can you please confirm? Can you able to see my
Ye-
screen?
Yes.
Okay. The today major focus will be on the Jenkins. Okay. So how do you set up a Jenkins pipeline to deploy an application to a Kubernetes cluster? Nothing but how to write a CI/CD pipeline script. Simple question. Indirectly is asking like this. I'm asking like this, but in the interview also they will ask like this itself. Okay, to deploy the application in the Kubernetes cluster, how you will set up a Jenkins pipeline. Nothing but in the Jenkins, how you are going to right create the pipeline steps and all.
In Jenkins, we try to create a pipeline steps where we try to deploy an infrastructure using some templates with the plugins of CloudFormation or Terraform, where we write the steps to deploy the infrastructure for the Kubernetes
Here the
cluster.
infrastructure is already present. So using Jenkins, I want to set up a pipeline to deploy an application.
Okay. So we try to install the plugins for the Kubernetes where we try to deploy the Kubernetes manifest files through the Jenkins.
Here
Uh,
the Kubernetes plugins, everything is set up. Simple question was how to set up a Jenkins pipeline to deploy an application to a Kubernetes cluster. Everything in the configuration part, everything is done. The question was how you are going to use Jenkins pipeline to set up.
Right. Uh, for that, we are using some two different scripts, right? Declarative or scripted pipelines.
Yeah, we can use the
Uh,
declarative.
yeah, for declarative pipeline, we are writing some stages like clone stage, build stage,
Yeah,
deploy stage. We can say that.
yeah, but you can able to elaborate more.
Okay, okay.
Like for suppose if they ask me, like for suppose if I want to deploy an application via Jenkins pipeline, so in Jenkins pipeline we will going to write a pipeline script. So in the pipeline script we will define environmental variables, tools, then we will define stages, different stages. In the stages you will be having the multi stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. I will go with build stage. Okay, in the build stage I will going to build the code. Then after the in the next stage I will right convert the artifact
doc-
into a Docker image. Okay,
Docker.
once the image is ready, right, I will push that into our private registry. Then once the image was pushed to our private registry, then I'm going to use a separate stage for the Kubernetes part. Right, using Kubernetes manifest files we are going to deploy an application. So if you explain like this, right, then only they will get to know, right, you already worked on it and you already implemented it. Okay, if you are getting confused to
We need
explain,
to we need
definitely.
to we need to do the test before we deploy to the Kubernetes, right? After we build the image.
Testing part, it is, yeah, definitely we will going to test it. I'm not telling it we are not going to test, but in the interview perspective, right, you need to answer like this. So how do you handle rollback in Jenkins if a deployment fails? Nothing but you will write a stage in such a way and you will give a conditions. Okay, if it is fail, do this like that. You can able to add conditions in your Jenkins pipeline script. So if the deployment fails, it will roll back. So how you will roll back via Kubernetes? kubectl rollout status deployment, kubectl rollout undo deployment and the deployment name. Yes or no? So for that you need to create another stage like that you can able to implement it. So how?
We can do DR stage, disaster recovery stage, and there we can do a rollback, right?
Yes, you are right. So next was how do you implement blue-green deployment in Jenkins? Nothing but there are two environments. You need to deploy it. Okay, then how you will going to do it?
We can use a different stage for a
Super.
different environment,
Yes, you are
and
right. And I will going
if
to show you how to write a script, okay, in few minutes. Okay, how do you trigger a Jenkins build when a code change is pushed to GitHub? Nothing but whenever developer commits a code to GitHub, right? Automatically Jenkins build need to be started. That's the what the question. How do you trigger a Jenkins build when a code change is pushed to GitHub? So how you will going to do it via Jenkins?
we use Polyscium or webhooks, GitHub webhooks, where we trigger the pipeline through the uh,
Super.
um, through the
But we need to mention we are going to use a build triggers. In Jenkins, there
build.
will be an option called as build trigger. In that, we will be having a poll So using that poll SCM nothing but source code management. So whenever there is a change, definitely it will automatically trigger and build will going to start.
We can also use GitHub webhooks, right?
If you want to use poll SCM, automatically you need to configure it, right? Without configuration, how it will going to happen? That's the configuration part which you will done in the backend.
Okay.
So how GitHub will communicate with Jenkins? You need to do it. Without that, it is not going to possible.
Yeah.
Here the question was, how do you trigger a Jenkins build when a code change is pushed to GitHub? So I am explaining in the Jenkins perspective. In the GitHub, you need to configure it.
Yep.
How do you implement parallel execution in Jenkins to speed up a pipeline? Just you will use a parallel block. In Jenkins pipeline, you will be having a parallel as well, right? Parallel, nothing but at a time two stages need to be executed. Normally whenever you execute Jenkins pipeline script, it will go by stage, right? First stage, second stage, third stage. But if you want to run three stages at a time, then we need to go with parallel script, parallel execution. Okay, I will show you the script. No need to worry. How do you pass credentials securely in Jenkins pipeline?
Through environment variables
Super, that's it.
and through secret uh, tokens.
Secret tokens, no. In Jenkins we have a credentials. There first we will
Yeah.
get a credentials.
Cred-
That credentials we will call it as a environmental variable.
yeah.
So how do you run Jenkins on Docker container? Oh,
So Jenkins Docker containers similar to the EC2 VM. We tried to create a Jenkins.
simple. There is no confusion. If you want to run Jenkins Docker container, just Docker container run, right? -d, run it in the background. You can use the Jenkins image. Automatically your container will be created. Or if you want to expose it, you definitely will use -p, right? 8080 colon 8080. Then automatically container will be created and the Jenkins will run on the Docker container. Simple, right?
Okay.
How do you implement CI/CD for a Java project using Jenkins and SonarQube?
Yeah, we implemented multiple stages where we tried to do build, a test, and deploy to the Java application, where we implement code coverage and other steps, where we do some setup using Maven tools like build tools, and then
Okay, anyone watching this video on YouTube, please like this video so that we will get motivation to continue the mock interviews. So yeah, Raghava, you are right. So here we are talking about the SonarQube and Jenkins, right? So how you will going to integrate SonarQube and Jenkins? You need to discuss more about it. If you are discussing about the build tools, definitely we can able to build about Maven and all. So here the how do you implement CI/CD for Java project using Jenkins and SonarQube? Nothing but so first you will set
Plus,
up the SonarQube, then after you will set up a Jenkins and you will integrate Jenkins with SonarQube. So how you will going to implement it? First in the SonarQube you need to create a token, okay, and in Jenkins you need to create a credentials with the SonarQube token, and in the configuration section write manage Jenkins configure system, or in the tools you will able to give the SonarQube. So if the SonarQube is plugin is not available, first you need to install it, okay, SonarQube scanner or whatever it may be, and then after you need to configure it. Okay, then after you can create a separate stage for this. Via that we can able to call okay SonarQube and we can able to implement it. If you explain this like this, because then only they will get to know, okay, you already worked on SonarQube, you have integrated SonarQube with Jenkins. So how do you send notifications in Jenkins when a build fails? Nothing but they are indirectly asking you how you will configure the email in your Jenkins.
we try to integrate with Slack or email notifications where we try to
Super, you are right. So for that, how you will going to configure, where you will go?
to
Manage
the
Jenkins, configure
logs
system.
management. Yeah.
There you will do the email notification. There will be an option called as email notification. There you can able to set the email notification. If you want a Slack, first you need to install the Slack plugin. Via Slack, you need to generate a Slack token. Like that, you can able to do it. So how do you archive artifacts in Jenkins after a build? Last question for today.
Okay, you want to try?
Nothing but we will just write a stage called as archive the artifacts. There automatically your artifacts will be visible. That's it, not more than that. If you are using a freestyle project, definitely it will be easy. But in pipeline script, if you want to define, you need to use the separate stage for it. Okay, I will open the Visual Studio Code so that we can able to check the answers. It will take some time to load. Let it load.
Said all the questions are there in the PDF and GitHub, right?
In the GitHub.
Power up to 83rd mock interview is available only.
Yes, remaining I might forget. Definitely I will update it.
Okay.
So how do you set up a Jenkins pipeline to deploy an application to a Kubernetes cluster? To deploy an application to Kubernetes using Jenkins, you need to use a Jenkins file to define the pipeline, build the application, create a Docker image and push it to the registry. Use kubectl to deploy image to Kubernetes. That's what I've said, right? Okay, pipeline agent, environment, stages, like build stage, okay, Docker build and push stage, then deploy to Kubernetes stage. Simple, right? In the interview, if they ask, can you able to write this pipeline script? A rough figure, definitely go through this. Okay, I will update it. Once I've updated, just go through this. Okay, do practice. When in the interview they will ask, right? So just tell
Yes,
them
yes.
that I'm just share you my screen so that I can able to elaborate more on this. Then you can directly share your screen and write it and show it. Then it will impress. So how do you handle rollback in Jenkins if the deployment fail? So maintain version Docker images. Use kubectl rollout undo to in case of failure. If you see, so you can use a try block if there is any errors, catch it. Okay. So if it is E, then you will execute this deployment failed, rolling back. Okay, kubectl rollout undo deployment. First you will apply it. You will check the status. If there is any error, okay, then automatically you will again roll back. How do you implement blue-green deployment in Jenkins? Blue-green deployment involves running two environments, one active blue and one idle green. The new version is deployed to the idle environment and switched when it's ready. Okay, so if you see deploy to green, kubectl will apply, switch traffic to green. So once it is ready, you can switch to the traffic to the green environment. So in other words, you will apply the service. How do you trigger a Jenkins build when a code change is pushed to GitHub? So obviously we'll use GitHub webhooks. So you will go to Jenkins, manage Jenkins, configure system. Okay, GitHub, add a webhook in GitHub. Then you will use the trigger. How do you implement parallel execution in Jenkins to speed up a pipeline? So you will use a parallel block. See, parallel stage, stage, stage. 3 stages at a time it will execute. Okay. Sorry, 3 stage nothing but parallelly it will do. How do you pass credentials securely in Jenkins pipeline? So use Jenkins credentials, store credentials in Jenkins, manage Jenkins credentials, retrieve credentials in the Jenkins file, right? Docker user, Docker pass. So then you will, once if you want to log into Docker, you will use Docker login -u rather than passing the right directly. You will use like this. How do you run Jenkins on Docker container? Same thing I told you, right? Docker run -d -p 8080 name Jenkins. If you want to use volumes, definitely you can use -v and the Jenkins image. So if you want to process the data, you can use -v. You can create the volume, separate volume, and you can process the data. How do you implement CI/CD for a Java project using Jenkins and SonarQube? Configure SonarQube in Jenkins, run SonarQube analysis as a pipeline step. That's what I said, right? So how do you send notifications in Jenkins when a build fails? Okay, pipeline agent post failure mail to subject body. For that you need to configure the email first, or if it is Slack notification, you will give the channel name. So how do you archive artifacts in Jenkins after a build? So if you see archive the artifacts, I told you, right? Artifact simple. Okay, and I will going to update this in the GitHub. If you are new, if you don't know, in the GitHub, okay, this access will be provided only for enrolled people. So there is a DevOps mock interview. Okay, from day one everything was there. So until 83 was there. Remaining one I need to update.